Happy day, happy day. For the last at least 5 years, the OFC's been working on a loyalty program to be able to create some incentives for individuals in the community who have been supporting community businesses. I am so glad to have this guest on with us today. We have the one and only William from the WonupShop. It is the loyalty program that is that is now associated with the OFC. So now we no longer have to do it ourselves, guys. You know how we get down where there's no point in reinventing the wheel. This brother has created an amazing platform that benefits the community, benefits the business owners, and uplifts us all as a whole. Stay tuned as we deep dive with our brother William today on the Empower Hour.
I think this is deep.
Welcome to the Empower Hour. We're bringing power to the people because the people have the power. This squad's going to entertain, enlighten, and empower y'all. I'm Queen Kaya, joined by Pharaoh Hammond Freeman and Gina the Great. But before we do anything else, like always, we're going to bless this show and our kings and queens listening.
Blessed, melanated, rising, beautiful people. I am so grateful to life. I'm grateful to God, our creator, and our ancestors for being present with us and for creating this opportunity for us to be able to be on air, for our voices to be able to uplift you all, to empower you all, and to inspire you all. And I ask that today's show, let it be uplifting, let it be encouraging, let it be entertaining, and most importantly, let it be empowering for each and every one of our listeners. Hotep, amen, ashe, aibobo. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing this morning?
Listen. I'd love to say that July was this nice, relaxing time off that we took, but I'm saying for me, it was probably one of my most busiest months going into August, but it was all for great reasons. Let me tell you something about this year. Let me tell you something about 2023. 2023 thus far has been a year of milestone birthdays, births, passings, weddings, and I almost feel like I think I need a sugar daddy because it's expensive. All of this is very expensive.
Talk about it. It's adding up. It's adding up.
It's mucho dinero, and I know I'm rich and I am a millionaire. It is in my path. It's
Amen.
just like I need to vibrate on that level because I need that million right now. Like I have it, but I need it in this
the manifestation.
This timeline.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
This timeline.
Yeah,
I
this
get it.
timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of been some highlights of my July. Kai, how you been?
Amen. Man, listen, I am going through it and not bad stuff. I am going through it, this thing called life, all of it. And I feel like I've been handling it kind of graciously. Thank God, because when I tell you I've been hit with a bucket load of all kinds, I just feel like this is the time God is like, remember when you asked me to show you how to be strong? I'm sending you stuff to learn how to be strong, sis. And I'm learning this lesson. And so today, when you say, how have you been? What's your week been like? Or what's your month been like? Because we've been off for a while. It has been a learning experience. It has been a learning curve. And I'm grateful for it. Truly. I am growing so much in this time. And I'm pivoting a lot. And I watched something the other day that talked about the power of the pivot. And I'm learning that right now. So I'm reinventing myself. So this week is the reconstruction phase.
Nice. Well,
yeah, what's up with you, P? Because I know y'all been busy. Y'all been doing the world tour like Muhammad, my man.
Yeah.
I seen y'all.
It felt like work. Like it didn't feel like it was any time off. As you guys know, I was in Trinidad for a bit over a month, doing some work out there and working from there. That was a blessed experience. A lot of revelations, a lot of growth, mental, spiritual, even physical. Push myself to the limit. You guys know how I get down. But funny enough, how life does these things. Just like being here in Canada and working on the retreat, I was knee deep in cutting down trees and being in the bush and pulling up weeds, all kind of different things. And I ended up doing something similar to that, but in Trinidad, to help on my dad in one of the properties he has. And Yeah, it was just a different experience. It's not like cutting down trees in Canada at all, because there's some real things in these bushes, and these bushes themselves, it's not the conventional bushes. First, everything has thorns on it. Everything, things that you don't
Because you're
expect to have thorns. Yo, they got thorns. Like flowers have thorns, and so that's already a thing. So I took a couple of hours, a couple of sticking my toes, and I was like, oh, all right. Then it was the snakes and the other things that come out of the woods. It's just a different experience. You know what I mean? So I feel like I leveled up. I did come back with a couple of war wounds. I almost cut my thumb off, but it's healing now. Thank you, Jesus. So it's like all kind of different things just happened on a physical level while I was out there.
what
Uh,
the hell?
yeah, yo, you guys know how I get down, man. I took some pictures. Did I tell you guys I almost burnt down half of the? Anyways, so look, there was a time
No,
I was clearing out I was clearing out some dry leaves out of the bushes, and I wanted to also get rid of some termites. Anyways, I set it on fire. Thank God it's rainy season, because like the whole tree ignited on fire. It was interesting to watch. The tree's like 30 feet in the air, all engulfed in flames. Wow, that didn't go how I how I envisioned that.
you know what? You know what? You went down there acting like a whole Canadian. I am
Yeah,
over you right now.
yeah.
Yo,
I,
why you go to the people them place and burn it down, Pete?
fire,
You
I'm
were trying to
like,
bring the Quebec fires to Trinidad?
yo,
Is that what you're doing?
anyways, I give thanks, but while I was like, so my mind was kind of going crazy, but my spirit had a calm in it. So I was leaning more on the calm of the spirit, because I'm like, well, what's the worst that happens, So I'm looking around, but again, thank God out there it's rainy season. Never do something like what I did during dry season. You will burn down half a Trinidad, but like in this case, because it's rainy season, after everything that was dry was consumed by fire, the everything else that was damp just outed the fire. So it was, and then it poured rain that night anyway, so we were good to go. But anyways, I have some videos and stuff like that. I'll share it so you guys can see some of the funness. So with that, guys, we're going to be diving into Parlay with the People with our brother William. So stay tuned, sit back and enjoy.
Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people, y'all.
Ah, yes, beautiful people. So we are back. So like I had mentioned at the top of the show, this is, I want to say this is a historic time for us as a community, because we have been discussing the value of a loyalty program. We have been doing what we could for the development of a loyalty program. But when we came across our brother William and what he has established with the WonupShop, we said, pause productions, stop what we're doing within the OFC. The one has been found. He is here with the platform and the tool that is going to help enhance our business community, reward our families and individuals who have been supporting. And he's just going to bring us all financially, socially, economically to a whole other level. I'm so glad to introduce and welcome our brother William to Parlay with the People on the Empower Hour. Welcome, my brother. Thank you for being here with us this morning.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. So, like everybody knows, before we dive into the business of what is the WonupShop, I would like to take a moment just to allow you to introduce yourself to the community, talk a little bit about who you are, your background, your interests, your passions, just so we can know a little bit more about you.
Yeah, my background. I came from actually DRC, Congo DRC.
Mm-hmm.
And, my life was pretty simple and good. We never had any financial issues or any troubles, basically. We were good kids, I'll say,
Mm-hmm.
And I got here with my mom in 1996. We came to Canada and we landed in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
So I did my school in Montreal, and that's where maybe I became sort of aware that my lifestyle back home wasn't the same here in Canada. It was completely different. Here,
Mm-hmm.
You got to do stuff by yourself, basically. That was the idea. You got to learn how to do stuff. You got to learn how to be autonomous. And so I went to college. We went to Collège Français. By the way, DRC, we speak only French. We don't speak English.
And I figured that's how you ended up in Montreal, because Montreal has the Quebec French side. So I figured that's how you'd end up here. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I finished my high school over there, and the idea was now to learn a second language.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad actually had a job here in Gatineau. So we moved in Gatineau, and I started my cégep at an English school, and that's where I had to learn English. So yeah, so I was basically 18, 19, and it's funny, and then obviously I went to university and I did, I think political science, I think,
Mm-hmm.
if I don't recall. But the idea here was, as I went to university, a guy came to me and he said, well, William, have you ever noticed how whenever you go buy a pack of gum, you'll notice that, hey, there's magazines that says people are making $5 million divorce, or they're divorcing for $5 million, or they're buying a home for $5 million. That was basically my job. That's how I got introduced to entrepreneurship. So if you go back to the way we grew up, or I grew up, I'll say, the idea was you finish school, you find a job. But I had a good job working for the government.
Right.
So here in Gatineau, that's the dominant employer. Is the largest employer in our region is basically the federal government. So at a young age, as I was in Cégep, I actually was already working in the government. So it was definitely an enviable position,
Right.
that I had. But for me, I had it so young, but I don't think I was basically fulfilling a huge purpose, because I entered what people thought was very hard to get into. So
Right.
that's pretty much it. About my passion, though,
But hold on. So first, I want to commend you. Your English is stellar. So good job on that. So picking that up, there's a couple of things I just wanted to put a little highlight on, because one, it's so funny, like how I love how the energy works, because we were talking about this even this morning before you came on. Right now, a lot of people aren't living their fullest experience. We're doing what we think we're supposed to, which is working that 9 to 5 or whatever be the case. And then after the 9 to 5, you have your children, you do that for X amount of years, and then you retire. And then after you retire and you're kind of old, you try to live whatever kind of life that you can with whatever little money that you put aside, and with whatever life, like physical life, you have left, because at this point you're kind of old.
Right.
And that is, we all believe now, we're all starting to wake up from the weird mist that's on our eyes, and we're realizing that that's not what life is about. Life is actually about doing things that are more fulfilling. Life is about living your passion and exploiting your passion. I love what you're saying in terms of that reality. You even mentioned how when you came here, you had to almost get conditioned to a North American way of being that kind of forced you to be independent. Like, just you're by yourself now. You're no longer part of a village. You're no longer part of a community where people are working together for everybody's success. Now it's you. Just figure it out, you by yourself. And again, we were kind of sold this dream, especially like when our parents came to North America and stuff like that. They were under impression that they were coming here to give us a better life or a better experience, or better things, So I appreciate what they did in terms of bringing us here and exposing us to it. Now it's time that we actually, at the stage that we're in life, figure out what's the best of both worlds. How do we now benefit from the knowledge and experience that we got in North America, and how do we empower the Caribbean countries or the African countries that we've originated from, to be able to create this win-win, so I feel this is the era that we're going in. So I just find it really cool that, just without even knowing, you touched on some of the things that we were discussing already this morning.
Yeah, and it's true. It's because, and it's all dependent on what people define as success, right? I think that's where it starts too. What do you define as success? Now, do you feel like having a job or having a family, that's your definition of success? I think it comes down to the reality that you notice that every time you want to do something, you feel limited. And nobody loved this idea of being limited. I don't think people do. And what other people are doing is they actually take a second job. 2 jobs, 3 jobs, just to fulfill that other part that they need fulfilling. And knowledge is important too, right? So if you never had, like, if you don't have people that can exhibit entrepreneurship or success, financial success to you, you will never know how to find it. So in my head, so it's funny, and this is not a joke though. In my head, that person actually who told me, hey, have you noticed how, I think he mentioned Jennifer Lopez. And back then, I used to buy a lot of pack of gum. So I used to go to the store. at quarter store regularly. So it was 18, 19, right? So yeah, and it's funny because I thought those people were in another world, to be honest, because nobody think of making $1 million salary.
Right. It's true.
N-
It's
and
true.
nobody think about that.
Mm-hmm.
So people just tell you, get a job, finish school and get a job. And there's nothing wrong about that. The point is, if that's your definition, sure. So I have two aspects about, like, I discovered after a while, like, if it's financial, you need financial success, then there's two things. You either multiply your revenue, find a way to multiply or add into your revenue, or you find a way to be content and save better.
Right.
Then it's either you multiply your revenue or you have a better management of your current revenue.
Yeah.
So that's another way of attaining financial success. That's what I discovered later. But the point is, hey, I want to be honest. I was young, so I wanted to be like, hey, I bring my lady to this specific restaurant, and I'm paying for her, and I want a big car, I want a big house. That was the dream, because that's what I want.
Yes.
So, but that's what you want, but you just don't know how to get there.
Exactly.
So for me, having a figure, a person a relatable person that could show success, financial success to me, was very important. And I read a book called
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's the one that I read. Oh my goodness, it's been a while. Wow.
Yeah.
Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. That's the one that I read, and it completely changed my perception about money, the relationship about money. And through that story, that's how actually, this is not something that I'll say lightly, but my first business was a network marketing company. So I was making those guys good money, and I was at the same time going to university and working for the government. So with the hype, it was for me the first time that I could see I don't work, I don't do anything, but there's money coming into my account.
That residual income, yes.
Leverage, yes. So leverage your effort. Nobody ever experienced that, but it felt so good and so real once you realize that, hey, I could actually sit down and let someone else do the work for me and still having revenue out of it. Yes. So it was new. All this was new. So the hype, the excitement, and I was making my leaders some money, and they were like, well, if you put yourself full time in it, then you will make more money. And that's actually how I quit school and quit my government work. And
really,
yes.
Wow, that is okay. See, so that's taking a leap, because a lot of people, like, that's where they usually have to. They slow down a little bit and they're like, okay, wait, am I really going to sacrifice my check, so to speak, for this business that now it relies on me actually having to make sure it grows to sustain? So kudos on that, because I know it's not an easy jump.
No, it's not easy. And thinking about it, I don't know if there was the right thing to do. And I don't know if that was the right path. I know for sure once you don't have any safety net, you have to find ways to make money and to live, right? That's the idea.
That's exactly it.
If someone would ask me, would you do it? Would you still do the same path today? I'm probably going to say no. The reason is they took advantage in a sense, and I don't know if they did it purposely but they kind of took advantage because they were making a lot of money. They were like upline. But I would say it's good to take things gradually.
Yes.
You test it out and you make sure that, hey, is this working? And then if it works, then you keep on working, you keep on working at it. So you have your job, your day job, and then at the same time, after you work, you try your business and you commit to your business slowly and surely to see at least result. And once you feel like there's the time to take the leap of faith, then you take it. That would be my advice, but it doesn't prevent you to know that you're still taking a risk, but maybe I should say a calculated risk. It's better than going just crazy on on based on excitement and hype. I think, and I was young too, so I still had my parents, so I was my basic needs were pretty much covered, but the idea of just taking that leap of faith, and I knew I would be successful. I knew I would work really hard. So by joining that team, I noticed my first initiative in that community of leaders. So basically, I would discover people who made money and read about them, and encapsulates this information before introduce you to the company. So let's just say, usually if you know network marketing, usually you come to the session and then automatically people introduce their products.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if you've been to any network marketing.
Of course. I've done every network marketing on the planet. Go ahead.
Right. So my approach was completely different. I understood that people really did not understand why they needed a side business. So my focus was, once I analyzed the issue, my focus was, let's bring knowledge to people. So I would summarize a book like Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I would share, hey guys, I would just tell them, this is your position according to the 4 quadrants. You guys are an employee. Whether you work well, whether you are smarter than your boss, by principle, you're just limited. That was what I was saying. By principle, if my ability to pay you is only $40,000 a year, that's it. Whether you're smart or not, it has nothing to do with how competent you are. It's just my ability to pay you. So as an employee, you basically stuck.
Yeah.
That's what I was just explaining. And I said, well, the people with financial freedom or unlimited income, they are in another square.
Yeah.
That was the simple thing that I was just explaining. And it would enlighten people and say, okay, so you need a business where you have unlimited income. At least if you are an owner, you will have unlimited income. And that's how, by bringing that little knowledge, I would then introduce, this is what we're offering as an alternative.
Wow, brother, that is huge. Yeah.
Yes, it was more educational. It was more a session of education rather than, hey, this is what you should do. I want to introduce you to this product. That wasn't the idea. People needed more to be educated than rather selling a product.
Well said. Let's take a quick positive cause just to shout out our homegirls, Kemba and Andrea from Keen Real Estate Group. Whenever you're thinking real estate, whenever you're thinking investments, whenever you're thinking about planning for the long term, think Keen Real Estate Group. They're generating wealth for generations. KeenGroup.ca. If your goal is to purchase a car and to make the process as simple as possible, just get a car broker, guys. You just get a car broker. Big shout out to our homeboy, Hamsdale Jacques, the owner of HJCourtierAuto.com. That's HJCourtierAuto.com. If you're a small to medium-sized business and you're getting started and you're ready to go to that next level, what do you need? You need a phone line and you need a website. Think Mainstream Digicom. They got all your telecommunication needs checked. MainstreamDigicom.com. You're trying to get out on the web. You're trying to understand how to navigate through ads. Check out Java Logics for all your marketing, your digital marketing. Where would we be without Preston? I don't even know. Check out Java Logics. I give thanks to Preston for what he's done for the OFC. The amount of positive reviews we've gotten from all his referrals, we're proud to stand behind his work. Check out javalogics.com. No, it's not just because he's my brother. It's because you can't talk hip-hop in Montreal without saying M-City Solo. Guys, check out his latest project, In My Fields, available on mcitysolo.com. If it's not one of the hardest new EPs to hit Montreal, come and let me know. You already know. It's your boy, Pharaoh, bigging up, mcitysolo.com. Keeping the culture alive. I gotta give thanks to West Can Folk Performing Company. For the last 40 years plus, they've been promoting our culture through song, drum, and dance, educating youth, the children, the seniors. Just check them out, westcanfolk.com.
Girl, what are you cooking?
My curry chicken.
Ooh, you're burning it.
Oh, gosh, it looks so...
It's okay, girl. You need the Curry House. They have the best Caribbean food in town. 2 locations in Montreal, West Island, and Côte-Neige. For more information, follow Caribbean Curry House, MTL. Don't forget to mention the Empower Hour for your 10% discount.
So, who placed in the order?
Me.
DeVito, WizKid, Burna Boy. Those are just some of the big names that's blessed Montreal thanks to Afrobeats Montreal. Definitely check out Afrobeats MTL for all concerts, show listings, everything that has to do with Afrobeats in the city. Check out Afrobeats MTL. One full circle. We are the Melanated Community Resource Hub and Network. What does that mean? We're here for each other. Anybody who's actually doing real sales aren't really here to just sell your product. They're actually here to educate you, make sure that you understand something, and to see, is this a good fit for you or not? And actually, so we could actually use this as an opportunity to transition into the actual business that you launched that is doing very well. When I just met you, that was one of the things that I appreciated about the conversation, is that you did take the time to make sure we understood what the product was about and to show the value of what you're bringing to the community, the value that you're bringing to the business. And to me, it was hands down. So let's transition. The listeners are excited now. So now we're talking the One Up Shop.
Right. So basically, fast forward my experience with the BFN Business Friends Network. That was the company's name. Someone came to the session and he said, "I want you to join my company." And that's when I got on. It was back in 2009. That's when I got introduced to penny auctions. Penny auctions. The background is very important before I actually dive into my company. So penny auction was, after the financial crisis, the economic crisis.
Yeah.
So people started to have initiatives to help people save money. That's the context.
Okay.
And I was in that sector or that industry called penny auctions. But at the same time, in 2009, that's when Groupon came out.
Right. Yes, I remember Groupon too. Yeah.
Yeah. It was around 2009 as well. That's when Groupon came out. So my company, WonupShop, basically it's basically a combination of both worlds. So here's the concept. Auctions, usually you bidding against other people, right?
Yeah.
You're bidding against other people in order to win. Now, I made it simple. The concept was basically, hey, so you, Pharaoh, I'm creating a game. Instead of bidding against other people, I'm giving you a chance to select one seat. And one of those seats, if you find the one that contains 80% discount, I will pay the cost of your product. That's basically what it is. So my idea, basically, I took it from, instead of creating a bidding concept, I wanted to create something that was basically equal to all the participants. So you may have equal chances. It's not about who has more money than the other. That wasn't the idea. It was to create a stage where everybody could be equal and have the same opportunity to win. So the concept of WonupShop, it's basically you come, there are a bunch of seats in front of you, and all you got to do is find where I've hidden the 80% discount. If you find it, I will pay 80% value of the product and you pay only 20. Now, this is my way. Now, remember, I came from the penny auction industry, but when you look at Groupon industry, the problem with companies like Groupon, you may not find quality companies because they were asking too much on the business. They were asking businesses to lose money using the loss leader strategy. That's how they call it, the loss leader strategy, in a sense where you sell your product at 75% discount with the hope that once the consumer tests your product for the first time, they will come back without going through the platform of Groupon. That was their assumption. So it was heavy on the business side. So what we did was combining both experiences into one. So WonupShop, it's basically you come, you play to win 80% discount. And if you do not win the 80% discount, I'll take your money so you can consume in our partners. So that's pretty much, that's the loyalty program.
And the thing is, and what I had liked about that, and again, just to reiterate for the listeners, is that it's a game that you've implemented that the user never loses, because it's a type of thing where it's like, so it's either you win 80% off, or you just spend the money within the community like you were already planning on doing anyways. So it's not, it's like there's not a risk of being like, oh, I just put in my $10 to try to win this 80% off and I didn't get it and my $10 is gone. That's not the case. And the fact that
Yeah.
you're not gouging the business owners, because we know a lot of the yes, there are some big corporations that are working with you as well, that they have marketing budgets that they could play around with different things. But when we're talking about some of the quality smaller businesses that can't necessarily afford to take that huge loss, you're creating an opportunity for them as well, where they could now get involved with the platform, get that visibility, and still get the clients and the payment. So that's great.
Yes, this is right, because we're working with a company,
Liquid Green.
Liquid Green. Liquid Green is a
Mm-hmm.
partner with us. So this is a good example because I love their products, and I want to be a consumer. And I told my wife my next purchase is Liquid Green. So
I love it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an example. Liquid Green, it's a small company. It's right. So they need exposure. Like if any companies need exposure. So by partnering with us, they only pay 13% commission whenever I create a sale for them. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing. We only asking for specific percentage once we make the sale. There's no upfront cost beside that.
I love
It's only
that.
when the sale is done that it's a 13% commission. But now on the consumer side, this is the advantage of what we're doing here. Now the consumer, they may think of WonupShop as a raffle before shopping. So as a consumer, what we're offering to them is, hey, do you want that Liquid Green product? Well, you can get it for 80% off. All you got to do is select a seat and find if you can get the 80% discount. Now, there will be a little bit of money. So you put like a deposit just to participate, just to play the raffle. Let's just call it like, put, like a little deposit there. And now let's just say you win. Well, good job, man. Instead of paying $100, you're paying $20. That's the logic, right?
My investment that I put in to play the raffle. So let's say I put in $10 to play the raffle.
Yes.
The product was 100. I actually win. I win 80% off. So now so I have my $10 credit. Does that mean I just have to pay an additional $10 to pay the $20 bill, or do I have to? You see, that's okay. Beautiful. That's what I wanted to make sure was clear.
That's the idea. So your participation cost has nothing to do with your purchase product, your purchase of the product. So yes, you pay $10 to participate, and then you pay the value that needs to be, like the value of the product in order to get it. So that's the whole point of the raffle. The raffle, it's a chance for you to get 80% discount, and it's also a chance for you to discover new products without spending a full fortune on the product. So for someone who wants to discover Liquid Green, well, hey, okay, let me see if it's a real product or not. Right. So at least you have this transition where you have a small investment and then find out if it's a quality product or not. Now, in the case when you lose, that's the beauty about our system here. Whenever you lose, let's just say you didn't find the 80% discount. What we do though, you already put your deposit of $10, right? Now, at some point, it's either you keep on playing, or it's either at some point we're just going to deduct whatever credit you have into your account with the retail price. So if the product is $100 and you end up paying $10 to participate, your balance will be $90.
Beautiful.
Right? But because we work with membership, and that's why sometimes without the visual can be hard to explain, but because our concept is a monthly membership, so you pay $10 on a monthly basis, you basically accumulate credit. So it gives you a chance to keep on playing the raffle. But after 9 months, let's just say after 9 months of consecutive losses, basically the product becomes free.
Right, because you have $90 of credit in there.
Because you will have $90 credit. So that's the idea. So the concept here, the system that we created, it's basically, it's not a raffle, but let's call it raffle, but it's not a raffle, but it's a game where people come to play on a monthly basis. with the small amounts, it's not a lot. It's something similar to Netflix. I wanted to create the Netflix for discounts, for huge discounts.
I love that. I love that.
So yeah, that's the idea, right? So you pay $10 per month just to get high, like huge discount on different products. Now, the more you lose, it's not a loss, but the more you don't find the 80% discount, the more you accumulate credit to shop basically local. So that's the loyalty. That's what we call it. It's a different kind of loyalty program. It's not set to be individualistic, like usually, like you mentioned, probably you wanted to create a loyalty program. Any businesses usually have their own loyalty program. But what makes WonupShop unique, it's like, it's collective.
Yeah.
It's collective. And there are like large companies, sometimes if you know Air Miles before, Air Miles was a point system where you accumulate points, and then at some point you have a variety of businesses where you could unload or those points or purchase those products. Now, today we have the SIM cards. We have, so some people may use SIM card for different purposes, as you accumulate to go to the movies, to go to some other restaurants. So it's a collective of businesses getting together to support a program. So basically, that's what we're doing for small businesses.
I love that. And that's that. I'm telling you, when you pitched me the model, when I understood what you guys are doing, because what you've manifested was exactly the vision that I had with the size of the network that we have within the OFC. We always thought that it'd be huge if we could put all these businesses within one loyalty program, so that everybody could just, and everybody benefits from the visibility. The community could pool their capital at large, and then they could choose which business they want to be able to spend the money at. Like the fact that there's no fee to be able to enter for businesses, they're just giving a commission. Guys, this is a game changer. And even the model that you have, it's not far-fetched, because like I could tell you right now, I pay Audible $15 every month to get access to my audiobooks, and they have the same credit system. Every month I accumulate credits, so that, and it's a good system because it makes me stay on Audible longer, because I get credits every month. Even when I'm not doing anything, I could actually buy other books with those credits. So then I end up staying on Audible longer because I bought other books. So it's going to take me time to listen to those books. While I haven't finished listening to those books, I'm paying my $15 a month and getting more credits for more books. So I've been in Audible for years now. At this point, I have tons of books that I'm listening to, and the model does work. So what you've put together, it is a game changer. It's right now, what we need from the community is for the community to see it, dive into it, everybody to, at the very least, open their account, test out the product, test out the platform, play the game, win, lose, just participate, talk about it with your friends, because this is how these things are going to grow. And we need to get out of the mindset of we're in this on our own, and we need to, we need to fend for ourselves. We have to get back into communal mindset that we're here to help everybody win.
That's so true. People do not understand the power of community. Doing the effort, marketing, it's so hard and expensive. You can't do it on your own. You need marketplaces. Think about Amazon. Whenever you go to Amazon, you find a product, but you also have suggestions of other products.
Yes.
That's how the mechanism works, right? The mechanism works. So that's basically what we're offering by doing this all together. Basically, the idea was, hey, someone will come for a specific product, but then they'll have a chance to discover many products. Pharaoh, can you imagine? Today we consume international movies because we have more choices through Netflix.
True. You're
Before
absolutely right.
That, you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And yeah,
right?
that's a great example.
What it is. Marketplaces, that's how powerful marketplaces are. So yeah, so people got to join, because by joining, first of all, we have a larger buying power. It's a larger buying power, actually. And doing so, prove that, hey, I brought something that never existed into existence. That's nice. It's a good thing to feel, right? And it's also supporting someone actually who is basically Black and made it happen, right? Yeah. And we all share success. Whenever I succeed, I guess the community succeeds as well. So it's a good way to support each other and
brother,
join.
I commend what you're doing. So now, if you're listening out there and you currently have an Optimum card, you currently have any gas or point cards, you have an Air Miles card, if any of these loyalty programs you're part of, it's time that you say, you know what, I'm going to actually become a part of the WonupShop too, because if I'm going to support all these other loyalty programs, I might as well support the one within my community. And it's my way of giving back in a small way and winning, because you're not just, and again, that's what I love. This is not something where you're telling the community, here, come give us $10 to support what we're doing. This is $10 that it's still, you could still purchase what you need to purchase anyways. You're slowly exercising your ability to pool your capital together. And this is, guys, I tell people all the time, as a community, once we organize, we will change the world, because we had the largest buying power on the planet. We just got some results back. The OFC partnered with one of the largest research companies in North America. So now we're able to actually see what's happening within the community. In Quebec, specifically, we have the Black community has the largest buying power in Quebec. The stats showing it. And matter of fact, a little nugget that's kind of off topic, guys, like we have the largest voting power as well. And the political parties know this. If we were to organize ourselves and start to put out clear demands of what we want, the world will move for us, because we have the power to put them in power or take them out of power. But let me digress on that. Let's focus on what we're talking about now. But just to say, we have buying power. So let's just say, just for fun, that the entire community, let's use a round number. Let's just say just 10,000 people say, okay, you know what? We're going to participate in WonupShop. You know what kind of buying power that we've now pooled within one space? Like, and that's just a fraction of the amount of people that we have that can get involved. And I don't want to make this something exclusively to the Black community. As you guys know, the OFC, we're open to everybody. We are a melanated community network. We're here to unite everybody. Everybody's welcome to participate. So if you see the value and you're in the position where, you know what, it's time to support the community, time to support the underdog, so to speak, this is something for you to be able to start pooling your capital together as well to support this initiative. Now, brother, how do people reach you? How do people connect with you? What are the next steps for people as a community? How do we get involved?
Yeah, well, so people can go to WON, like one, up, UPSHOP.com. And as soon as you sign up, they can write OFC 101, and that gives you 3-month free trial, basically.
Ooh,
for
amazing.
The next Yes, it's amazing. OFC 101. So yeah, it's a coupon code that gives you 3-month full access, so you can give it a shot and try and see basically the whole concept. Obviously, if you want to write me, you write at William, but there's a chat. There's a chat section as well. I'll be there to answer some of the questions. And or you can send me an email, william@oneupshop.com. So that's basically the way to reach me.
So now, brother, like we like to end off our shows with some empowering words. This is the Empower Hour. So we like to give our guests an opportunity to leave our listeners with some empowering words. Do you have any empowering words you'd like to leave with our guests today?
For the guests, what I'll say, the listeners, it's always important to have a vision stronger than your failures.
That
would be so helpful.
I love that.
Yes, because the path to success, it's not easy, as you said, but I think your vision has to be stronger than your failures.
Oh, brother, that is heavy. As a spiritualist, I'll tell you guys what Brother William is just laying down right there is that the vision as your motivation, that's actually a creative force that you have within yourself. Like your power to visualize and your power to stay motivated behind your dream is what will give you the strength when you're facing adversities, when you're facing the challenges, when everything, like that vision that you have is your guiding force. So it's just, brother, kudos. Great inspiring words. Again, I thank you for what you're doing for the community. One more time, can you just share the contact information one more time so people can find you online and to sign up?
For sure. So it's OneUpShop, WONUPSHOP.com. william@oneupshop.com. And my email is william@oneupshop.com. I really hope that my conversation, my testimony, our conversation here inspired like few listeners, and even why not the whole listeners. That'd be great.
Talk about it, my brother. So thank you again. And listeners, again, we always appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in to Parlay with the People. This has been another awesome segment on the Empower Hour. And we're glad to continue to do what we're doing for you all as community. Peace and blessings.
Kings and queens, this was the Empower Hour with Pharaoh Freeman, Queen Kaya, and Gina the Great. We are on live every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. and broadcasting Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. on CKUT 90.3 FM. Hopefully you got your dose of entertainment, enlightenment, and empowerment. Subscribe and watch us on empowermtl.com and email us at empowermtl@gmail.com to anonymously be featured on our What's the Tea Mail segment. Stay blessed, black, and highly favored.